So now we are going to take up the next topic, that is the atomic mass. So if somebody asks you about the atomic mass, so as the name suggests, the atomic mass, like if somebody asks you what is atomic mass, it would strike to your mind that atomic mass is nothing but a mass of an atom. It is a mass of an atom. As you all know that atoms are too small in size, right? And if you talk of any substance, there are large number of atoms which are actually present in them. So how we are going to calculate the exact mass of an atom? As we know that mass is too small and the particles are too large, too more in number, you can say. So how we are going to measure the atomic mass in that case? So I think it's clear that it is almost very difficult task to do that, because they are too small in size, right? So you know that what happened, like how we came to know of atomic mass, or how we were able to know the mass of the atom. So what happened actually, in 19th century there was a big problem of the atomic mass. That means the scientists were actually interested in knowing the mass of the atom, but at that time the latest techniques were not initiated, right? So that time the scientists just used the method that is the stoichiometry in order to know the mass of the atom. They actually use the process that is the stoichiometry in order to know the mass of an atom, right? But in today's era, what we take actually, we take a technique of spectrometry. We take a technique of mass spectrometry, by which we can actually determine the correct mass of an atom. Right. So you know that actually what happened, like what is stoichiometry, or must be striking your mind. Actually what happened, they thought of taking one standard element and they thought of relating the mass of atom to that standard element, right? Or again I'll just repeat it. What they do is, they thought of taking the mass of the standard element. They want to fix an element as a base, right? They want to fix an element as a base that element will be taken as a standard element in order to calculate the atomic mass. So what they thought actually, because the hydrogen was the lightest element, so they thought of making the hydrogen as a base element, right? So they just want to relate the mass of different atoms with the mass of the atom, and at that time they took mass of atom as 1 mu, right? But later on it was clarified that hydrogen actually exists in nature in 3 isotopes, that is H1, H2 and H3, protium, deuterium and tritium. So whenever an element is existing in a different forms, that means if it is existing in isotopic forms, then at that time you cannot take the mass of one atom, right? You need to take the average atomic mass. Right. So if we calculate the average atomic mass of different isotopes, like we take different isotopes and we calculate the average atomic mass, then the average atomic mass of hydrogen comes out to be 1.008 something. So that means it was in decimal. So now if I want to multiply it with 5 or 2 or something like that, with any figure, so that means my calculation is going to be something a difficult type, right? So we need an element to where you can just relate the mass of an atom to a standard element in a simple manner. So actually hydrogen was refused that time. Then after that, the oxygen was chosen as the standard element or a base element with which we can compare the mass of any other atom, right? Relate will be the correct word. That at that time oxygen was chosen as the base element to which we can relate the mass of any atom. At that time the oxygen mass was taken as the whole number in order to avoid this thing. So it was taken as 16 mu, but later again it was also refused, because the scientists just came with the conclusion that oxygen also exists in nature in you can say isotopic form 16, 17 and 18. So that means if we calculate the average atomic mass for this thing, then also it comes out to be something like that. Again the same problem, if we will multiply with some whole number, the calculations are going to be difficult somehow. With the time the oxygen was rejected, at that time the spectrometry technique was actually mass spectrometry came into view, right? So what we did at that time, we took carbon with 12 atomic mass as a standard element, and we keep on relating the mass of different atoms with the carbon 12, right? Because the carbon mass is the 12. We are taking only we are talking of the only carbon 12, because carbon also exists in nature in 12 as well as the other isotopic form in the 14, but that is present only in traces. So here what we actually talked about the carbon with the atomic mass 12. So we had the definition now, which is number of times an atom is heavier than 1/12 of carbon atom. So this was the correct definition in order to define the atomic mass, that is the number of times an atom is heavier than 1/12 of carbon atom. Suppose if I say that atomic mass for sodium is 24. Right. So what do I mean by the statement? I mean by the statement that sodium is actually 24 times heavier than, sodium atom is actually 24 times heavier than 1/12 of carbon atom. So this is actually the history of the atomic mass, that how we this thing obtained the carbon 12 as a standard element, or why we are comparing the atomic mass of different elements with the carbon 12, or why we have chosen the carbon as a standard and or an element to which we can relate the mass of the other atom. So this is what is the history, right? So now like as I told you that, so this is the thing we are talking of, the atomic mass of an atom. Now what about the isotopic ones? Suppose I say that chlorine exists in nature with atomic mass 35 as well as 37. So there is a confusion arise that which mass, like if I tell you that I have magnesium chloride, so what mass of chlorine you are going to take in this question? So that is a big problem, right? So at that time we need to take average atomic mass. What we take? We take average atomic mass. So whenever an element is existing in nature in an isotopic form, what do we take actually? We take into consideration average atomic mass. And how we calculate actually average atomic mass? By taking into consideration the abundance and the atomic mass. Just look at this problem. We have one chlorine with 35 mass and we have another chlorine with 37 mass. This is the abundance in which they are occurring in nature. This is 75.77% and this is 24.22%. And if we talk about the atomic mass, it is 34.9689 and this is 36.9659. So whenever you need to find the average atomic mass, then what you need to do is, you need to multiply the abundance with atomic mass for one form plus abundance into atomic mass for the other, and so on. If we have the other forms also, just divided by 100, and what you get? You get average atomic mass. Let us do the same for this. So abundance is 75.77 into 34.9689 plus, because we need to find the mass for this second one. So it is 24.22 into its atomic mass, 36.9659 divided by 100, and once you will do that, you will get an average atomic mass, and if you will solve for it, you will get the answer equal to 35.4527. So this is the average atomic mass for the chlorine, right? So this is how you are going to calculate the average atomic mass for different isotopic forms. Now I think it's clear that what is atomic mass. So if somebody asks you about atomic mass, you should quick with an answer, not with this thing. You should be quick with an answer that number of times an atom is heavier than 1/12 of carbon atom. And in 1961, I just forgot to tell you the date. In 1961, the carbon was fixed as a standard element in that time, right? And from then to now, we are always considering carbon as a standard element. That means we are relating the mass of different atoms with the carbon atom only. That is why we define it like in a way that number of times an atom is heavier than 1/12 of carbon atom. So this is what is the history of atomic mass and the atomic mass and average atomic mass for different isotopic forms. Now, what do we mean by molecular mass? As you know that molecule is formed by the combination of different atoms. Like I have CH4, so obviously it is formed by the combination of 1C and 4H. Right. So what will be the mass in this case, because it comprises of different atoms and even the number different atoms and even the number is more than one. So in that case we will be needing, we will be calculating the molecular mass. How? By adding the atomic masses. See, we know that atomic mass for carbon is 12 and for hydrogen it is 1. So when you need to find the molecular mass for CH4, so we have 1 atom into 12 is the atomic mass for 1 plus because they are different atoms. 1 is the atomic mass for hydrogen into 4, so it comes out to be 16 grams. Likewise, we can do for water also. As we know that atomic mass for hydrogen is 1 and oxygen is 16. So it comes out to be 1 into 2 plus 16, because it is 1, comes out to be 18 grams. For carbon dioxide, C is 12 and oxygen is 16. Right, so 1 into 12 plus 2 into 16 comes out to be 44 grams. So this is how you need to find the molecular mass for different molecules, because you need to consider the atomic mass. Just take an algebraic sum, keep on multiplying if it is present 2, 3, 4 number of atoms, and you will get the molecular mass. Now if you talk about the formula mass, so sometimes what happens here, the particles are present as a discrete molecules, but here the particles are not present as a discrete molecules. Like if I take into consideration NaCl, so here the ions are actually present. You know that Na is present as Na positive and Cl is present as Cl negative. So in this case, what term you use? You use formula mass. So what you're going to do the same thing. Mass for sodium is 23. For chlorine is 35.5, so it comes out to be, let's say, X, or it is something 58.5. So this is what is the formula mass. So formula mass is actually a term used for those substances which are not present as discrete molecules. Instead of that, they are present in an ionic form. So but you calculate in the same way we did for molecular mass, just the name differs. That is, the molecular mass is for the discrete molecules and formula mass is the one which contains the ions. So this is what is the molecular mass, formula mass, atomic mass, the history, and the process, the formula which we need to calculate the average atomic mass for different isotopic forms.